So that's what
I feel pretty, oh so pretty. I feel pretty and witty and bright and diabetes. Any couple tonight. I feel charming, oh so charming. It's a line how charming I feel and so pretty. That my heart can be a breeze. See the pretty girl in my feet and there. Woman of the heart in my feet. Such a pretty face, such a pretty dress, such a pretty smile, such a pretty face. I feel stunning and fancy, feel like running and dancing for joy. Full of love, my pretty wonderful world. I feel pretty, oh so pretty, that the city should give me its key. I'm community, should be more than it's all than me. I feel dizzy, I feel funny, I feel dizzy, funny and bright, and so pretty, me some men just reason. See the pretty girl is not feeling there. Pretty girl in me. Such a pretty face, such a pretty dress, such a pretty dress, such a pretty face. I think for joy, full of love, my pretty wonderful world.
but the world has also I requested to make like a you can have like several activities for this one okay, and then ask for a discount. Yeah, but that was now for the YouTube.
It takes time, but I just give you the name of the person.
That's okay, but I'll also ask them to speed up.
It would also be good when you send them the
How are you too? I'm good.
Yes, good.
Yes. Yeah, so this is Albert.
Okay.
Albert and from
Okay.
yes.
Not sure about
The other guy is with
Morning. How are you?
Okay, wait there. Based in Nakuru, but of course supporting Nakuru so much. Of course, the Nakuru the business, the thing.
Yeah.
There's something coming up on the sanitation. These are guys who
This round of systems give a shift in the ranking.
we have like a similar way. What we've done is we have in terms of there's one thing in terms of computation. What we put in the context of what goes into the computations, some items to somebody who is interfacing with it for the first time. So what we agreed is let's now if we have should have actually addressed it like you addressed it. Now that it's a part of you. Oh yeah, definitely. You're working with him early. You're working with him early in the week.
But I really had those short legs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure.
No, it makes sense. Of course, you sell the brand. Joshua. You know, we've done a fish market.
Still have
He still has some things. We're going to see you. You've said it. For the last year. This guy is nice.
So you want to leave him for like another 3 years at least. Now he's free to decide to move.
Yeah, so we
Down the way where the nights are gay and the sun shines steady on the mountain top, I took a trip on a sailing ship, and when I reached Jamaica, I made a stop. But I started to say I'm on my way. But for many a day, my head is down, my head is turning around. I got to be a little girl in Kingston town. Sounds of laughter everywhere, and the dancing girls sing to and fro. I must declare my heart is there, though I've been from Maine to Mexico. But sad to say I'm on my way. Won't be back for many a days. My head is down, my head is turning around. I want to be a little girl in Kingston town. Down the market you can hear ladies cry out while their heads they bare. Ackee rice, some fish are nice, and the ram is fine any time of year. But I'm sad to say I'm on my way. Won't be back for many a day. Around I want to live a little girl in Kingston town. Down the way where the nights are gay and the sun shines steady on the mountain top, I took a trip on a sailing ship, and when I reached Jamaica, I made a stop. But I'm sad to say I'm on my way. Won't be back for many a days. My heart is down, my head is turning around. I have to leave a little girl, Kingston town. But I'm sad to say I'm on my way. Won't be back for many a days. My head is down, my head is turning around. I have to leave a little girl, Kingston town.
So to ask the choir, let's quickly set up. We have the entire stage. You can come and spread at the back.
You can move that podium, just move it behind or aside so that, or they'll be behind.
You can stand behind this space. We can be upstanding for the national anthem. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
Let us believe and pray. O God our Father, we pray in the light of your presence, may you, Lord, the members of this congregation, bless the facilitators, and bless all those who are still,
So that we get
and bless all those who are still,
so that we get to know who and are present. So I do hope we have a microphone. update.
My name is Caroline Achim, and I'm a resident of Kisumu.
Good morning to you. Good morning, everyone. I'm Daisy Atieno, County Assembly of Kisumu, Public Relations Department.
Good morning, I'm Catherine Laja, Kisumu County Assembly, Communication Department.
Good morning. I'm Emily Oginga, Special Elected Member of Kisumu County Assembly, and I'm also a member of our Water, Environment, and Natural Resources Committee.
Good morning. I'm Collins Oyengo, Master Operator in Kasule, sublocation, under DMM. Thank you.
Morning, everyone. Abdullah Swale, presenting Master Operators.
Good morning. My name is Engineer Moses Jura from Kisumu Water and Sanitation Company. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Eric Oche, representing the Kenya Association of Manufacturers. Thank you.
Morning. Kelvin Oraro, MCA Polo Central Ward.
Good morning. Paul Orlando, Youth Representative, Wash, Parliament.
God is good. My name is Winnie Otieno, and I'm the founder of Award. It is a women-based organization, and we deal with the water matters. Award abbreviated as AWUOTH.
Morning, everybody. My name is Albert Magel, representing Manyata Community Ward.
Good morning. Morning, Grace Mahogo, Kisumu Customer.
Good morning. I wish from Lake Development.
Annette Lelema, the Victoria South Development Agency.
Good morning, all. Felgona Chino, representing Railway Watch, Ungari.
God is good. Larry Chen, representing Youths Manyata Day.
Grand Rising, my name is Felista Sotuma. I'm a CPC member, Manyata East Sublocation. God is good. And all the time, Eldo Dongo.
As the country manager.
Emily Rapper, Executive Partner, Kiwasco.
The stakeholders. Amjambo. 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 Asanteni sana. Kwa majina mimi naitwa Anthony Ambugo, nafanya na shirika la Water and Sanitation for Urban Populations, inaitwa WASAP. Si WhatsApp ingine. Water and sanitation for urban populations. Initially, we were called water and sanitation for the urban poor. But when we went around the country, including Kisumu here, we never found anybody who accepted to be poor. So we quickly transitioned from poor populations. And we have worked closely with kiwasco in a number of areas, and that is why we are here to support the process. Thank you.
Thank you. Now you understand why I could do it. I would have given all that detail. So we also have our service team. I don't want to leave them out. And let me start with the camera guys. Just your name.
Hello, my name is Hilary Ochieng.
Thank you, Hilary. The cameraman.
My name is Fidel.
Then we have the sign language interpreter.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Lara Atieno. I'm a sign language interpreter.
Then we have our musicians.
Good morning. I'm Dave again. Good morning. In the world of music, I am called a soprano. So my name is Lindy Shinyega, a soprano. I teach music at Aga Council.
Thank you so much. And I am Simon Odigo, one of your servants at kiwasco, heading the audit department. So allow me, with humility, pass this to our more than able chair to introduce to us the rest of the board members.
Asante sana. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning once again.
Good morning.
Enyewe, the whole of Kisumu is here. I just wish to take this opportunity to welcome you all officially to this event and of course introduce the board. On my far right is
Well done. Thank you.
Good morning, members.
Good morning.
My name is Al. Finance Committee. Thank you.
thank you. I expect a few more to come.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
My name is Judy Galoch, representing the county government. We usually sit with two of our colleagues. I'm the CCM in charge of water, environment, climate change, and natural resources. Thank you.
Asante sana. Then our able secretary.
Good morning. My name is Thomas Odongo, the MD and Secretary.
Okay, I believe I'll have more time to explain why we have directors that are independent and those that are coming from the county government. With that, I know we outsource our company secretarial services. Did you introduce yourself?
Thank you very much, Council. I did that, but I cannot do again. Good morning once more. It's very rare to have airtime from
great city of Kisumu. I listened to MD the choir that presented as we started. If that choir cuts across the cadres within the WSP, and that energy represents the work ethic, then I think we can actually give thumbs up to kiwasco. I captured a few phrases. I think one of the things is that najifunia kuwa yeah, at least we are kujifunia, you are happy that you are doing this as kiwasco, and of course with the interest of bettering the life of the residents of Kisumu. This is a process that has been on for some time between ourselves and kiwasco to look at, supporting and ensuring sustainability of this WSP. The process before us is really to discuss a review and a proposed rate to support the WSP going forward for the next 5 years in terms of the tariff that would be charged for provision of water services. As we discuss this, it's actually good that kiwasco has, when I looked at the vision, who has seen the vision? And I know it's to be the most admired water service provider. I don't know whether it is in Kenya or globally. And for sure, I'm sure they're gunning for that. As a regulator that looks at more than 90 water service providers, we can confidently tell you that Kisumu has its place in terms of that vision. I think one other critical thing that we appreciate in majority of the forums that we go to, and even convened by water service providers, the water we consume is normally bottled. We are very encouraged that what we are consuming, I believe, is kiwasco's water. Yeah? There's somebody who said he's in charge of the treatment process, the Dunga treatment works. Yeah? So this is a product that is delivered by the utility. It gives confidence to the work that the utility is doing. This is a process, like I said, that we go through to really support and ensure that services provided by the utility, in this case kiwasco, are sustainable going forward. The way the sector is structured is that the services you receive, or what you pay for the services you receive, is really for the service. I know we say the lake is very close, but that lake water needs to be purified. That lake water needs to be delivered to your homesteads. That comfort is really what we pay for as a service that is given by kiwasco. And because of the dynamics that we, in terms of the cost of service, that price has to be regularly reviewed to respond to the changing times in terms of the cost of providing that service. So we have had these discussions with kiwasco, gone through this process severally. I'm happy I can see a number of members of the county assembly who've been part of this engagement, just to ensure that everybody is on board in this process. That oversight and involvement of the county assembly is very critical, because
the county has a dual role. The CEC, the county executive sits in the board of the utility, but again, beyond that, they have a role to oversight the water service provider. So that speaks to, how this county works in terms of water service provision. So we've gone through this process, we have looked at the numbers. It's a process that has gone on for some time, the culmination of which is now this meeting today, where we seek your input as consumers of consumers within the service area of kiwasco, just to presentation that basically highlights, why this process is very critical for the utility and what we seek to achieve out of this engagement. This WSP, I know, has serves the great city of Kisumu, but also has some technical support extended to some two semi-rural schemes. I had somebody from Nyakach, but there's also one here that is called GAL. That is in the interim. We have had discussions with the county government to ensure that we also have a vehicle that does service provision in the rural side of Kisumu. And in the course of this discussion this morning, we'll also share with you the standards we are looking at in service provision. Do we have the presentation?
Yes.
As we wait for that to be set up, for the consumers, how many of us are receiving water from kiwasco? Okay, so you tell us about the quality of services. I'm hoping Violet, we're able to carry along our colleagues. How many are potential customers? How many are potential customers? I hope we understand the potential, the context of potential in this case. I was trying to capture names as people introducing themselves. That is engineer. Yes.
We are doing phase 2 and phase 3 for last part.
Okay.
We have finished phase 1, so with our customers and potential customers.
Okay. But at least, for what is already completed, your customers. But potential customers for what is coming. We appreciate that the services currently, as given by kiwasco, may not be getting to everyone because the access levels are not 100%. But it's also critical that as they present to us, they tell us the plans that they have to ensure that we have universal access. So all of us know the country vision. We have had a Vision 2030. Yeah? Vision 2030 talks of moving Kenya to a mid-income country with a good quality of life in the next 5 years. It was done in 2003, so that was about 27 years ago. But that 27 years ago is now 5 years away. What is good quality of life? And I will just focus on water services. We say, if you link that to what even the Sustainable Development Goals say, you're saying the water supplied should actually meet quality standards. The water supplied should be reliable and it should actually get to your premise. When we talk about this journey to a fast one, in the context of water services, that is what we are exactly looking at. So it is not anything out of, a creation that is linked maybe to politics, but really a country vision that we had put for ourselves in 2003. So I hope all of us are on board to that journey. Ile journey ya kwenda fast one, sindio? Yeah? Let's do our bit in the context of water services. Watu wa barabara wafanye yao, watu wa health wafanye yao. With that, cumulatively, we'll actually be able to get ourselves to a fast one. So the challenge for us is, for kiwasco, where we are currently, and we will share that scorecard. What are the plans to take us to that fast one status in the next few years? I know because we are a big team, the back you may not be able to see, but I'll try to just speak to the issues that we want to share with yourselves this morning. Why is sustainability critical? Yeah? When we say we need sustainable development, and that was part of also the, I have something in your kiwasco anthem, and I can confirm to you this was the first anthem I have actually listened to from an WSP. So give credit to yourself. You can challenge ourselves. The next time you come to our functions, we will also have a WASLET anthem. Because I saw you did in there, nikasikia miundo msingi, nikasikia kujifunia, mkonania, and all that. But also very critical within that is also your values. I think you highlighted all your values as a water service provider. Sustainable development is very critical because if we can't guarantee what we have now, then future generations may not really be able to enjoy what we have today. We may be lucky as a region that the lake is very close to us, but the lake is increasingly getting threatened. I don't know if I've not been to the lake lately. I don't know whether the challenge of the hyacinth is still there. But even that aside, we have issues around pollution. We have issues around water getting to our lakes in terms of the volumes. So we need to, as a people, ensure that we preserve what we have for future generations. They normally say we have not inherited this land from our ancestors, but we hold it in trust for future generations. So if you look at that quote from that chair of the World Commission on Environment and Development, it says sustainable development is that development that meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of the future generations to meet their own needs. So we need to meet our needs as a current generation, but also ensure that the needs of the future generations are also met. What does sustainability what are these determinants that affect sustainability of the water and services? One is a critical aspect. You call it an enabling environment. So policy and political environments have a huge bearing on sustainability of water services. Luckily, in this country we had reforms in the sector prior to reforms that we had in our governance framework. We devolved before the revolution happened in 2013. And that tells us that devolution is really the way to go. It's only that we have to ensure that the structures we put in place work optimally. It depends. It's affected by management capacity. The people we have given the role to steer, service provision within the utilities. Their capacity has a very huge bearing on service and sustainability of the services we give. Taking capacity, issues of infrastructure condition, again technology came up again in your anthem. So these are things that you quite identify with as kiwasco. Then you have social and cultural factors. How the communities appreciate and embrace the entity we have created to deliver services. Then the issue around financial sustainability, post-recovery, the adequacy of the tariff, and how finances are basically managed. So those are some of the critical factors that affect sustainability of water services. The last one is the reason why we are here today, just to see how we can support kiwasco be able to have revenues that can adequately support their operations. As a country, we have developed a plan. This was done in 2023, 7 years to 2030, looking at what are the resource requirements that the sector requires to be able to get to universal access in water service provision. The critical areas you're looking at is urban and rural areas in terms of water supply and sanitation services. I know there are details in this. What is critical is that we require close to a trillion shillings to be able to get access water and sanitation services to all our citizens in the next 5 years. That translates to about 140 million or 142 billion shillings every year. Yeah? A trillion shillings is our 2025-2026 budget is about 4.5 trillion shillings. So we will need close to 25% of the national budget, everything aside, to be able to get to a universal access. Those are huge resources, but the sector has gone ahead to look at where these resources can be gotten from. Just looking at what the NABSPs can contribute to that financing of the sector. Out of tariff adjustments, we are looking at raising about 45 billion Kenya shillings. When we are efficient as utilities and we will look at what are the areas of efficiency that we need to focus on, we will raise another 31 billion shillings. When utilities are credit worthy and they're able to get commercial financing, there is another potential 81 billion Kenya shillings. That gives us a total contribution from the water service providers of 154 billion Kenya shillings. 154 billion Kenya shillings is about 20% of what we need. So that is a critical contribution that we can make as utilities. The critical bit is of the 157 billion shillings, how many or how much can we make as individual utilities? Because there's a portion for each one of us. This is a global figure. There is that which we would expect kiwasco to be able to contribute. So part of our engagement today is to look at how we can meet that contribution so that then the utility is able to realize the targets going to 2030. Traditionally, we have financed water services, and I don't want to belabor this so much, or financed our investments through 4 streams. The The conventional one is taxes, what you pay as citizens in the different areas of engagement with government. You pay a price. In that price, there's a tariff. There's a tax that goes to supporting government within all its commitments. Then there's transfers. Transfers, we have a number of partners that support us to be able to do what we need to do. So there's a portion that comes out of transfers. The third T is tariffs, and the one we just discussed. The one that we are moving to now, initially there were 3, but now we are saying there's a 4th one, which is trade. Trade looks at, of what we do. Is there something that can make, increase income that we get as utilities? And in the context of water services, I'm sure we've heard about making use of waste that we have from our wastewater treatment plants. And we either get, reuse that waste, either as manure, use it to generate energy, or even for water service provision, do bottling. Of course, for bottled water, we are a bit cautious that you don't, if we go to bottling, there's a risk that you may really push that at the expense of the conventional supply option of delivering water by through your networks. So those are the options of financing water services, and the one we are discussing today is the green one, where we're looking at tariffs. The tariff computation very quickly looks at the different cost components. There's a cost that goes into providing services by the utility. There's a cost of operation, the chemicals that go into purifying the water, the personnel that run these systems. There's a cost of oversight that is given to the oversight organ, which is the board. But you also support the other national actors. I said in the framework of water service provision, we have sector regulators, including ourselves, and we are fully supported by the water service providers. There's a component of maintenance, and to ensure that the infrastructure that we have delivers optimally. Where we have loans, then we have to pay for debts, and of course, investments have to be done to enhance service and expand access. This is we just picked a few WSPs and some that are very close to where we are. Siaya, Eldoret, Kisii, Bomet. These are your neighboring counties. Kapsabet, Nandi, Homa Bay, Nakuru Rural. Then we have Kisumu, Kericho, and Kakamega. The bars indicate what is the current tariff. Yeah. Then that color that looks almost what? Panajura, brown or that color. Where that color that is with Kisumu is what is proposed. Of the ones that we have looked at, Chair, the increase for yourselves is actually the least. The proposal is to move the rate from 85 shillings to 88. But in this forum, since you represent the interests of the consumers, we are open. If we say we can fast track developments in Kisumu, we can give them more resources. So if we feel that we can enhance that tariff slightly to give them more resources, I think we are open to that. Although I know MD was a bit cautious that he wants to work these steps gradually. So that is what is being proposed. But what is also critical is an indication. The average for the 10 WSPs that we have is about 107 shillings. And the average for yourself is 88. The average nationally, and national is for the about over 90 utilities. The average is about 115 shillings. In our assessment, you're still way below the national average. It could also be partly because of if you are efficient, part of those efficiency gains go to reducing the cost of service. This is the city of Kisumu. See, you have traffic lights. I'm bad. Iko. And by the way, pongezi sana because your seat is very clean.
Thank you.
I'm saying that because I happen to have worked in this place about 20 years ago. It was still clean, but I think it's cleaner. It is clean, but also it's been beautified. I like the trees along, are they trees or flowers? Along the Ogiga street? Yes. I don't have highway, but I hope it's on course. Eh? The is highway? Yes. Okay. So you're only waiting for overpasses and we are not saying anything that is outside the national vision. It looks like it's politics when you say a good quality of life. But I was telling you and laying that foundation because, when you look at what we are looking for, when you get to being admired, because the only thing that I would put to the vision that the company has is that measurement. I don't know where admiration is there, because like they say, it's the high of the beholder. When do you say somebody is admired? Ama ni mtu ajipitie. Could admiration be the same across all of us? We will discuss. But if we get to being admired as a water service provider, then we will have done what we need to do. These are, now that you say we have traffic lights, of course you know the three dimensions or what? Or the three colors, if you were to say that. Then you say things are not that good in the context of, course for traffic lights you say you don't go, but green means mambo ni sawa. Sindio? That is a picture for Kisumu. So ni kama we are on gear, sindio? It's only the speed that determines how far we go. Because except for what we have as an elephant in the country, which is non-revenue water, the rest of the KPIs are basically good for you. We will be launching our scorecard for all the 95 utilities. Hopefully, not hopefully, in June we already have a date. When we look at the national outlook, actually the red is predominant. But for you, the green is what is predominant. So there is all the confidence. When you are at that level, the only thing we will need to, or we are asking of you as key stakeholders, is to support the WSP now, push whatever is red, and this color, the upper color, to green. Non-revenue water is a challenge to all of us. We produce, we get water from, I know the bulk of your water comes from the Dunga plant. We deliver it to, we treat, it's delivered, but 32% of that, I don't know whether it is physically or commercially, does not translate to revenue. So we need to have concerted efforts, all of us, as because we have a contribution as consumers. If there are people who are illegally consuming this, we can support the WSP to be able to, deal with those. 32% is not very bad, as much as the grid stands at 20%, but nationally we are above 40. So 32, as much as we are pushing kiwasco to better performance, they have tried. So that is the scorecard. The investments, if you look at the documents that have been shared to us, part of what is in that package of documents are investments to support this journey of enhanced performance. So that is where we are, based on the scorecard that is used for utilities. Water coverage is at 93%, so they still have 7% of the population to be covered. Whether we will propose that because of their good performance, we need to expand their service area, the county executive is the one that is responsible for planning. And to say whether, as a county government, kiwasco can still get a big area for to serve. As a highlight, that is what we wanted to share. The proposal that we have is based on the license that the WSP has, that we consider that for a tariff that supports those commitments in the license, to ensure that progressively they get to a better level of service, and they serve all the consumers within the service area. I've said we have looked at this and we have agreed on some rates which will also be shared by the utility, what they are proposing, and for us to really give our inputs. So as a highlight, I wanted to share that and really now ask that once these are presented, it is we want to dedicate quite a bit of time to get your input to this engagement this morning, so that it's not, because we have done what needs to be done. We need to hear from you whether what we are doing is really you're feeling it. Yeah, so that service has to be felt for yourselves, and we need to dedicate quite a bit of time to hear from yourselves. I know we've spoken quite a bit in English, but we also accept that we engage in both national languages. So as we get to the plenary, please feel free to speak in either English or Kiswahili. If we need to translate, then we will. But I say that because predominantly you people speak English. Yeah? Yeah, this is UK, so it is okay. So Swahili would be an exception, but I really appreciate it. I was looking at Valerie when she was doing the introductions, and I was wondering how she's able to, make out the names. But I think it's really very commendable that we are able to get these services, and that everyone that is, regardless of the challenges we have, we're able to be part of this process. What I propose is, I have said, this is a framework for the tariff process, but we also wanted to share a bit on what we have as standards for water service provision in rural areas. So if you allow a few minutes, my colleague Albert can run us through that, then the company can come in, then we leave a bit of time for engagement. Okay. Sorry. No, the way we did this was supposed to be like an opening, part of the opening remarks. Sorry that I've taken quite a bit of time, but we also need to do some opening remarks from the company, and then we can move to now a bit of a detailed presentation that will take not more than 20 minutes, then open it up for hand over to the WC. I did introduce myself at the beginning. My name is Richard Choriot. I'm the acting CEO of the Water Services Regulatory Board. Prior to this event, except for kiwasco, for the consumers who had heard about WASCO before they came to this meeting today. If you are a consumer, I saw a number of consumers here. Nani alikuwa amesikia? Hamkuwa amesikia? Mlikuwa amesikia? Mlikuwa amesikia? Kwa Kiingereza ama kwa Kiswahili tunafanya kazi gani? Na nataka kujibu. Oh, okay.
Thank you so much. You give us the sign language interpreter. WASREP, it is a board. Its responsibility is to approve kiwasco tariffs that they propose as well. All water boards, all the water services, all the water service providers are responsible to give their reports to them, their reports. Thank you.
Tell him to remind us his name, please.
My name is David Ogoro.
Thank you very much, Derek. I think we are happy that at least the consumers know a bit about us. But what is more important for us is if you're getting good services, normally regulators are not known. We only get to be known when there are issues. So we are happy that even if you don't quite know us, then that means kiwasco is doing some good work. So asanteni sana, I will hand over to MD for the opening remarks. Ama Simon. You can ask me questions baadaye. Eh? Kama kuna maswali mtatuliza baadaye. Haya, asante.
Thank you, CEO WASREP, for the elaborate opening remarks that have also set us for the agenda of today. Before I bring in the chair to give our opening remarks, we have our honorable members who were a bit delayed and came in when we had already started. So I just want to take this opportunity to give you time to also say hi to us and let us know your names so that you feel part of the congregation. So just lift up your hand so that Emily can pass you the microphone.
Thank you so much.
I'm representing North Kisumu Ward, the chair of the Water Environment Committee. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Kennedy Juan, nominated MCA from Lagos Ward, Kisumu County Assembly. I was nominated by our beloved party, ODM.
Karibuni sana. Feel welcome. We are privileged to have you to participate. Lastly, I want to give Director Statrinda also to say hi. He came in and the introductions have been done.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. I just looked at my watch and it's still 2 minutes into the morning, so a very good morning to you all. It's a pleasure being here. I am sorry I got a bit late getting into the meeting, but I look forward to the public participation and public consultation meeting and the deliberations for today. Thank you. My man here already gave you my name. My name is Dr. Satwinder Singh, and I chair the Risk and Audit Committee. Thank you.
Thank you, Director. Feel welcome. I now welcome our chair to give our opening remarks.
Now it is serious business. I hope we can see each other mpaka huko mbali. I hope I'm not too short. First, I just want to take this time to appreciate you all for taking time off your normal duties. I know it's a weekday. There's a lot you'd have been attending to today, but you decided to share your time with Kiwasco. WASREP, CEO, county government represented by our CEC Water, and of course our honorable members, the national government institutions, the board of Kiwasco, management, staff, and all our customers. Good afternoon. Good afternoon again. Just as I said earlier, it is good to use this forum to just explain why there are different not factions, just as your siasa, why there are different groups within the board. Kiwasco as a company is wholly owned by the county government of Kisumu. but the Constitution of Kenya provides water as a right to everybody else. So there was a need to have directors in the board that represent the shareholders, that is the members from the CC Water, CC Finance, and of course, because we are a city, the office of the city manager is also represented in the board. And then the other directors are independent, but they also represent various consumers or various customer base that we have within the county. The last person that introduced himself, that is Director Satwinda. Director Satwinda is representing consumers, sorry. I know it's consumers, but of course, as he is in the board, it's good that you know he's the Gen Z we have. He brings the Gen Z ideas when we sit together. Of course, by introduction, Yepia Daktari, I don't know if you know, he's not a medical doctor, but he's a PhD in IT issues. And of course, for us, it brings in a lot of support to the board by chairing the Audit and Risk Committee. And I think we are the way we are because we have him with us. Next to him, that is Dr. Nyambega. You can just put your hand up. He represents institutions of higher learning and he chairs the technical committee. So we get a lot of support from him just by sitting with us. Next to him, that is Director Dorcas Inda. She represents hoteliers. And of course, there are also bulk of our customers around here, so she represents them. Then the chair finance is none other than Director Albert Ojonyo. He represents the business community and chairs finance and HR and commercial. But of course, by making of the boards the way they are, the shareholders, by virtue of the fact that they are owners of the business, they sit in committees with us, but do not chair any of the committee meetings. So when it comes to the AGMs, we report back about everything we have done. Well, I also want to notice that we have Chair Emeritus with us. Please be upstanding. Kiwasco is 20 years old now, actually 21 years this year. If Chair Emeritus had not been there all those years for the work that he did, we may not have been here today celebrating the milestone. Asante. After Emeritus, we had Mr. Vinud. Mr. Vinud is now the just immediate past. He's not here with us. He had informed me he'll probably try and come in. He is the chair that I took over from. Those two gentlemen laid very good foundation for all of us. So since the inception, I'm the third chair of the board. So today, of course, we sit in our board meetings, we discuss a lot of the business, but today the main reason why we are here is to talk together. Because in as much as we sit in the board, we are also customers. Bonasio, my board members are also consumers. So by them sitting in this meeting today, we are not just sitting here today as board members, we also want to put again our management accountable. We want to know, because we are the consumers of the services. And yes, we also take and use kiwasco water in our homes. We don't buy water, I don't want to mention those names. We actually take water from our taps. And I think we are healthy, we've never been sick. Now, who do we serve? Just by naming of the different groups that our board members represent, we serve the domestic households, low-income areas, we serve commercial and industrial users, we also serve public institutions. So for us, each of these customers have different needs, and it is for us to see how best to give them the service that they require from us. Now, even before we discuss about tariff, I am sure you have seen from that, there was a nice table showing where we are in terms of our performance. And of course, the mentioning of the traffic lights, the colors, you know what red means, you know what green means, and the amber color. Definitely the green lights in our board are almost 95%, I would say. There was just one red one, and of course, you've heard it's a national menace. We are already below the, I would see it was 32% our current and revenue. We are working towards it, and that's the only major problem we have. But the amber colors are things that we're able to work on, and we hope at the end of this meeting, the deliberations that we would have agreed are going to help us to remove the ambers to green and to reduce the red one to come to at least an amber color. And so our MD will be making an elaborate presentation so that you get to see where we are from the last tariff adjustments, what we have managed to do, and of course he'll also mention the good things that Kiwasco has done as a company. And just to confirm, when we say you want to be the admired water company, we already see it. Visitors from Western. We have people coming to Kisumu every other week. They want to benchmark with us. Either they are coming to see our projects in Dunga, they are coming to see our projects in Kajulu, or they are even coming to see our iconic building. And I'm happy that we are one of the few companies in this country, if not just us, that have such a beautiful building that is, coloring the skyline of Kisumu. So now, the feedback. In as much as we are here in this hall, maybe this is not the hall of and we know everybody else, all our customers are able to follow this conversation. I also wish to confirm that being that I'm a customer, I am also part and parcel of the discussions that take place in various places. We have very active social media handles, and the world has changed. Everybody is on social media. Locally, we have a WhatsApp group that is managed within the company. We allow all our customers to vent, complain, tell us where there are burst pipes, where there are problems with their bills, whatever is happening. At times, I also get to see the issues of sewerage overflows. We also get to see the concerns on their monthly bills. And of course, the biggest menace when there's network repairs. I'm sure many of us, you have found instances where umefungua tap, umepata maji has some discoloration of brown. I wish to tell you, we are not giving dirty water from either Kajulu or Dunga. Most of the time it happens because either there was road construction, infrastructure development, pipe ikapasuka, then somehow mchanga ikaingia. But we get to see that, and immediately anyone reports. We have people on the ground, we have our dedicated staff that usually try and resolve all those issues within our acceptable timelines. Now, why tariff adjustments? We are looking at sustaining and improving services, and this requires investments that matches the real cost of delivery. We would be happy to get to a place where our table is all green. And tariff adjustments in the numbers that we are proposing is going to take us a notch higher, such that the next time we meet like this, our table will be looking very different. And of course, what will happen with that if we adjust this tariff? We can assure you that we'll have fewer supply interruptions, faster leak and burst response, expanded service areas, because I know there are other places we've not been able to really reach you, but we will be able to improve the infrastructure. Of course, there's better customer experience, and I don't know, are you aware that within Kisumu we have 816 kilometers of pipeline network going round. So with that number, even addressing issues that come up with bursts and all that takes us a long time, and some of these bursts sometimes are occasioned by either old dilapidated pipes or at times delayed. Of course, not on our part. I'm sure you saw the kind of staffing levels that we have, but we really try our best. Of course, in closing, you know climate change is also a menace. We are affected by climate change in all the spheres where we operate. And of course, we know that sustainable water services require shared responsibility between you, our customers, the utility, the regulator, and all stakeholders. So I urge all of us that let's work collectively to see a better kiwasco. And in all those platforms that I've mentioned, and this platform today, your voice matters. Today, we are here to listen to you. Asante sana. I would wish to take this opportunity to invite our CEC Water to make her remarks. And Waziri karibu. Makofi kwa waziri ashikane sote.
To the CEO, Wasfred, and the kiwasco board of directors, the CEO, Tom, and your entire staff, the county assembly members that are here, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Yeah, it's good to see everyone, and I have a request. I saw in the program I don't know whether it falls under the county, but I would like to make my remarks, but also invite a representative from the county assembly, because they do represent the people. I saw the chair of the water committee here. So if you allow me, Tom and T, Chariot, I can make my remarks and then I invite them to also make their remarks just before we get into the discussions. As mentioned earlier, my name is Judith Oloch, and currently I'm the CC in charge of water, environment, climate change, and natural resources. I have my team members who introduced themselves here earlier. I will not take time getting into that. But allow me just to make a few remarks. I've been part of this discussion, I must admit, and I recall one of the discussions, even our county assembly representation, we had at least 2 members who was also part of the discussion, and of course a number of issues were raised, but they've been refined, and as we get into the plenary, we will be able to highlight quite a number of those issues. Now, I must say that I want to thank WASREP for convening this, because this is very important. Water affects all of us, and anything that borders on cost of water must be openly discussed. So, thanks WASREP for upholding this principle of public participation. And water is a fundamental human right that has been emphasized here. So any decision touching on water tariffs must be inclusive, transparent, and people-centered. So as a county government, we recognize the critical role kiwasco plays in delivering water and sanitation services to our residents. And we are well aware that over the years, the demand has grown significantly due to urbanization, there is population increase, and expansion of several economic activities. And that's why this representation have representatives from all those sectors. But at the same time, the cost of service provision has risen due to infrastructure expansion, which I believe the CEO will speak on, energy costs, treatment requirements, and maintenance of various aging systems. It's still a challenge, even
as we think of an entity that is now going to manage the rural areas. So it is within this context that the proposed tariff adjustment has been understood, not merely as an increase in cost, but as part of a broader effort to ensure sustainability. And Mr. Cheriot spoke a lot on sustainability of kiwasco. There is also the element of reliability and quality of water services, which is very key. And having been in this department, one of the things I've actually learned is the cost of treating water is very high. And any water from the lake, surface water, is very expensive to treat. However, as a county government, I wish to emphasize on the following key considerations. One, even as we are discussing this, let's ensure that water services remain affordable, especially to low-income households. Let's be sensitive to the socio-economic realities of our people. Secondly, service improvement and accountability. Tariff increases must be directly linked to measurable improvements in service delivery. I know that's something that WASREP has really worked on. And what is important is that residents must see the tangible benefits so that there are reduced water interruptions, improved water quality, and the others from kiwasco. Then the third one that I want to emphasize on is efficiency in operations. And this is now beholds of kiwasco. Even as we discuss this adjustment, let's focus on that efficiency for our people. And this includes the revenue. This was mentioned here, water, the improved billing systems, and of course, prudent financial management. Then the next one is investments in infrastructure. I'm happy that I can see some of our partners here in this room. And who have been very supportive to infrastructure development. So more investment is necessary, and that requires money, especially in underserved and informal settlements. The county government remains committed to working with development partners and national government to mobilize resources for this purpose. Finally is the public trust and continuous engagement. Let's make this not just a one-time event, public participation. Continuous engagement with the consumers will build trust and ensure that services align with the needs and expectations of the people. Ladies and gentlemen, the county government of Kisumu supports a balanced approach, which ensures financial sustainability of kiwasco, but also safeguarding the welfare of our residents. So today, as we even discuss this, let's secure sustainability, equitable and accessible water services for current and future generation. Thank you, and God bless Kisumu County. So please allow me to invite a county assembly representative. Chair, I know you're there, just to make some remarks, and then I hand over the microphone back. Thank you.
To the senior and members present in the house, good afternoon. Afternoon once more. Thank you for the opportunity. First and foremost, I have to congratulate the board for allowing engaged members in this today's activity. Being that we are the representative of the people at the grassroots level, in order to cascade the information to our people within the grassroots level, we are to be held accountable. So our being here today as the representative of the people, we are here to at least assist in whatever way we can. And we know that the WASREB is a body which is regulated under the Water Act 2016. It's stipulated in the Act 2016, which needs the intervention of members of the community. Being that we are here today, all the members who are not in a position to come to this function, and we represent those who are unable to come, and whatever we shall discuss here today will be of the importance to our consumers and the water users within our regions. Otherwise, I don't have much to say, but I have to recognize the leadership we are within the house. From the County Assembly of the Kisumu, I've got the Deputy Majority Leader, can greet the congregation on behalf of the leadership of the Assembly. Thank you.
Hello. Good afternoon. My name is Lumumba Wade. I'm the area MCA for Southeast Nyakach and also the deputy leader of majority in the County Assembly. Allow me therefore to congratulate the organizers of this function, the kiwasco, WASREB, and even the participants that come all the way to share with us. I do not wish to say anything because the minister said I've just been called to greet, but as a politician I will not miss to say a word or two. First, I must assure you that as the County Assembly, we will support, and we are supporting your programs, because whatever you are doing has an impact on the ground, and you are the people on the ground. Our people are there. We speak on their behalf. When we appreciate on their behalf. As I'm now appreciating you, I'm doing that on behalf of our electorate. I will just make one request, that as you consider the tariff, consider Mama Mboga down there, because all those waterborne diseases have no choice, and they are the most affected. Let us find a way of how to provide water for them at an affordable price. Don't equate them with the people in the urban areas, because those are in urban are working, they have source of income. Nowadays we have, at the grassroots, we even have poverty index. So when you are considering tariff, do it alongside the poverty index. Mama Mboga, you always nipata pesa, you can even provide water at maybe 50 cents per cubic meter, as you do 10 shillings or so in Kisumu. Thank you and God bless you.
Thank you so much, Honorable Lumumba, Waziri, and all the leaders of the county. Those are our bosses, so when they speak, we have to listen to them. So at this juncture, I want to invite the Lake Victoria South Waterworks Development Agency to come give their remarks and also the first presentation, which we believe is going to align us to what the regulator was moved at, that we are on a journey to enhanced coverage. So I invite Engineer Ebin Odiafu, or is it Annette, between the two engineers, whoever is presenting, to come forward, give the remarks, and also tell us in terms of assets development, how are we, where are we going to, and how is this going to impact on enabling the sustainability that we are talking about. Karibu sana. I believe this is Annette Ndelema from the Victoria South Waterworks Development Agency.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. My name, as we've been told, I'm Annette Ndelema, engineer at the Victoria South Waterworks Development Agency. Before I proceed, MD, I would like to pass the apologies of our CEO. She is out on official duty in South Africa. And being that we are an agency that covers 8 counties, we are spread thin. So that's our big issue. Okay. I would like to introduce
We are not getting you.
Oh, sorry.
Maybe you put the mic closer.
Monster or father? Or center?
Center.
Okay, thank you. Yes, I was passing the apologies from our CEO, who is out on official duty. And for a fact that we work in 8 counties, most of our senior officers are out on other duties. So that's why I'm here, because I work with the county liaison division. First, I would like to introduce Lake Victoria South Water Works Development Agencies. I want to believe that apart from Kiwasco and WASREV, the consumers might have heard of Lake Victoria South Water Works Development Agency. And if they haven't, may I take this privilege to introduce us to you. Lake Victoria South is one of the 9 waterworks agencies under the Ministry of Water, Sanitation and Irrigation. And we cover 8 counties, that is the Nyanza region counties, Siaya, Kisumu, Homa Bay, Migori, Kisii, Nyamira, Bomet, and Kericho. The activity that we are doing today is not a unique activity to us as Lake Victoria South, because in the recent years, we have done the same in Homa Bay and Siaya County, when they were adjusting their tariffs to suit what is happening in the country today and the crisis of today. So, as LVS, our main mandate is to ensure that the communities that we serve are having both impactful and sustainable infrastructure, water infrastructure in service. Currently, we have construction of new water projects going on, expansion of existing infrastructure, and rehabilitation going on in the counties. And because today the topic is Kisumu, I will zero down on Kisumu County only. We have a major project that is ongoing, the LV Watson project. My colleague Ken will present to you on what LV Watson is doing. But in brief, we intend to cover 107 kilometer water distribution in the county, in the city, basing on only on LV Watson. And the sewer, we will lay 70 kilometers sewer line. This is to assist us increase the percentage of sewer line coverage from 16% to 40%. And also to make sure that our low-income areas like Manyata, Obunga, and Nyalenda are also covered in the sewer management. Apart from the mega projects that are being done in the county, we also have government projects supported and funded by GOK, which include several borehole water projects that are across the county. Asset management and handover of our projects. In the asset management and handover projects, we do this technical assessment of our status of infrastructure in Kisumu. We have done the status inspection of Dunga treatment plant, Kajulu. We have also gone to Kisumu Rural in Seme. We have also been tracking the performance of Nyanas water scheme, and Gulf Water. I must congratulate Kisumu Water and Sanitation Company on how they have maintained the assets that we have provided to them as Lake Victoria South and the national government. Most of the schemes are working at an advanced percentage compared to several schemes that we have visited in other counties. And in this, we have also supported Kisumu Water and Sanitation Project in the capacity building and technical support in trainings. MD, you should confirm that last month we supported in the non-revenue water reduction equipment that was brought to you by our CEO. As we continue to fight the higher percentages of non-revenue water, which we intend in Kisumu to reduce from the 46% to 25%, I'm glad that you have reported that we are at 38%. 32. That is a remarkable reduction of non-revenue water. As the CCM has said that the investment that is put in water treatment is too high, our non-revenue being too high is a very big loss that we'll be doing. Kiwasco, in the compliance with the service standards, I can confirm that while we have done our technical assessment in the water services schemes, the meeting of WASREP standards, the WARMA and the water quality, I have been to the laboratory at Gunga and Kajulu, and I can confirm that the water we are supplying is to standard as per the WHO standards and KEBS. Myself, have participated in the water quality assessment MD, and I would also like to congratulate you over the same. The financial sustainability of Kiwasco is rising, and I would also like to mention that Kiwasco is performing well when it comes to financial sustainability, maybe coming immediately after Nairobi Water. Or you are supporting this year. Congratulations. I was comparing them as cities. And if you are beating them, that is good to everybody, because it means the standard of operation has gone high, and it is great to even the country. Stakeholder collaboration, we have better coordination between the national government, that is Lake Victoria South, and the county government of Kisumu. I must mention that we have had good political goodwill with Kisumu County representation, and implementation of our projects and water infrastructure has not had major challenges. And for that, I would also like to congratulate and appreciate the political class of Kisumu County for the goodwill that they have paid to us as we implement our water projects. Lastly, in the collaboration of stakeholders, MD, again, I would also like to appreciate you for allowing your team and accepting your request to support us in the training that we have had last month, because as an agency, we are supposed to start operating bulk water supply systems as gazetted by the national government, and I would like to sincerely appreciate you for accepting our request to have your team support us and train us on the operation of the schemes. This I would also say thank you, because I was one of the participants and a beneficiary of the training period. Yeah, that was last month. we did training at Dunga MD and also in Kajuli. Your team was very supportive to us. They also gave us tea. So the consumption of sugar and milk went high at the cost. Somebody wasn't adjusting the figures. So thank you. I would like to invite my colleague Ken to take us through on the LP Watson project that we are doing in Kisumu. And for that, I would say congratulations for this event.
Thank you so much. I'll write on the protocols that have already been established. So my name is Awiti Kenneth from Victoria South Water Works Development Agency. I handle social and environmental safeguards, part of which is stakeholder engagement that we're doing here today. So I'm going to give you a presentation that touches on the contribution of us in terms of asset development for kiwasco. So currently we are implementing a program called Lake Victoria Water and Sanitation Program. In short, it is called Kisumu LB Watson. Next slide, please. So here we have the outline of the presentation that I'm going to give. Next. Okay. So these are the objectives of the Kisumu LB Watson program. In a nutshell, one of the intentions is to increase water supply coverage in Kisumu city and satellite towns from 68 to 90%. Then the next one is to reduce the pollution of Lake Victoria. And then the third one is capacity building for us, kiwasco, and county government of Kisumu. So if we go back to the first objective, we want to extend water pipeline networks within the city and the satellite towns. We also want to identify reliable water sources for supply within the city and the county. We want to reduce non-revenue water from 45 to 25%, improve efficiency of water treatment plants like Dunga, and establish water quality monitoring frameworks. In the reduction of Lake Victoria pollution, once we extend the sewer coverage, that is automatically going to happen, and then we will also boost the capacity of the Nyalenda treatment plant. On the capacity building, that is mainly trainings, some of which we've done, and others are upcoming. So due to the magnitude of this program, the LB Watson program, I'll just like to give you an overview of how it's packaged so that going forward in the presentation, it will be easier for you to understand. So the LB Watson program is packaged into 3 works packages. We have works package 1, which is mainly sewer and a bit of water. So under works package 1, we want to construct around 35 kilometers of sewer, both rehabilitation and extension. This is mainly within the city. So this is substantially completed. If you have been keen in the city, especially last year, there were a lot of construction works going on in all the estates in Kisumu. So apart from the 35 kilometers of sewer, we also intend to construct 8 kilometers of water line from Kadero to Mamboleo Guba. That is also complete. So that is works package 1. Then we have works package 2, lot 1, which is mainly water. We would like to extend water pipelines in the city and satellite towns of Darajabili, Kiposwa, and Maseno. These pipelines will be around a total of 150 kilometers. And there are other facilities that we construct, like boreholes, water reservoirs, and others. Then we have works package 2, lot 2, which will focus on Dunga intake next to Hippo Point. We want to improve the efficiency, build staff houses,
and also augment the performance of the pumps. Then we also have Dunga treatment plant. We are planning to do another series so that to boost water treatment capacity of kiwasco. Then we have Works Package 3, which mainly focuses on sewer. This will target the city's western corridor between the old airport and Kisian. That area is developing so fast and it does not have a wastewater treatment plant. So we are planning to build a wastewater treatment plant of a capacity of around 5,000 cubic meters per day, and it will be situated behind TNRA mixed, TNRA primary and secondary school thereabout to cover that area. We are also focusing on non-revenue water reduction. There's some equipment we've given kiwasco plus training so that we can be able to reduce the non-revenue water. So that is LVWASA in a nutshell. So back to the slides. This is how the financing of LVWASA is packaged. We have EU, we have French Development Agency, we have the Government of Kenya, and we have the European Investment Fund. The total basket is coming to 70 million euros. 20 of these, 30 million euros is a grant. The rest are loans that will be paid back, and kiwasco will be expected to pay back 10 million euros. Next slide. So these are some of completed services under the LVWASA program. First is the consultancy services. You realize that a program of this magnitude, we cannot do it by ourselves. We have several consultants assisting us. So the first one is tender support. That one was done by ACE consultants, is done. Then TN project management and capacity building. That was done by COI and PricewaterhouseCoopers. This is where we took kiwasco, county government, and LVS staff for several trainings. And people who attended those trainings, most of them are here. Next slide. Then there's another consultancy for water resources and wastewater master plan and water quality monitoring. We had a consultant called BRL, ISEP, who was focusing on water resources and the wastewater master plan. They have delivered this. This will guide the investment in water issues in Kisumu up to 2050. Next slide. Then we have technical studies, design and supervision of works packages 1 and 2. The same consultant again, PRLI. They're the ones who designed works packages 1 and 2 that are currently being implemented. Next. Then we have technical assistance on non-revenue water management and water and sanitation in low income settlements. This is being done by Sureka East Africa and it's ongoing. Next. Then we have technical studies, detailed engineering designs, preparation of tender documents, and construction of Works Package 2, Lot 2, and Works Package 3 in Otoglu. This is being handled by Atelia Mangat, MIBP, and it's ongoing. Next. That one is, this is just ERP implementation for Lectura South. I don't think it's relevant, just skip. Then now we are in Works Package 1. The one I was telling you about, the 35 kilometers of sewer and 8 kilometers of water in Kajulu. So the contract sum for this is 1.3 billion. It commenced in 1st of December 2022. The completion date was expected to be 30th of September last year, but due to some challenges, we've given them a small extension and we have now slipped into the defect liability period. So the water network, the scope was 8.1 kilometers. They've done 7.1. Wastewater network, we are 80% complete. We were supposed to build 2 pumping stations. The biggest of them, if you are going to Nyamasaria, past the flyover, if you look to your left, you will see a big pumping station there that collects sewer from the entire city and pushes it to Nyalenda Ponds. That is complete. Another one that was supposed to be done at Kendu Lane pumping station, That one has not yet been done, but the equipment that was needed, that is the pumps and control panel, have all been imported, and we are just waiting to install. Then under Works Package 1, we delivered a jet flushing truck, MD can confirm, to help Kiwasco to flush out the sewers whenever they are blocked. So under this contract also, there is a component we are calling public connections. Public connections means from the trunk sewer that we've developed, we are pushing it further near the households to the street level. That is what we are calling public connections. Then into the households, those are what we are calling private connections. So we targeted to do 1,700 public connections, moving from the trunk to near the houses in the streets. We've done 530. We are still going on. Then the private connections into the households, we planned to do 850. We've done 280. So those who are coming from estates like Lolwe, Afia, you can attest to what we are doing. Next. These are some of the pictorials of Works Package 1 implementation. On the left is the CS for water, inspecting the pumping station, and on the right is an application of one of the lines we're doing in the estates. Next. Then we have Works Package 2 Lot 1. This is the one going to the satellite towns and the city also. The 150 kilometers water pipeline plus other facilities that we are going to construct. The contract sum is 1.8 billion, and we commenced on the 1st of September last year. We intend to finish in August next year. This is ongoing right now. There are gangs working in Utoglo, there are others working in Kipos, everywhere. The works are ongoing, the contractor has been mobilized. So those are what we want to do. Water network, 156 kilometers, construction of 4 reservoirs, rehabilitation of Millennium Spring in Maseno, construction of 2 boreholes in Maseno. We intended to do 2 boreholes in Maseno, but due to the population, we've decided to increase. There'll be around 5. Then we will sponsor 10,000 connections to the entire network that will be done under this. So key milestones, we've already imported all the pipes in December 2025. Some of the challenges we are facing are things like tax exemption and restricted well use when we are implementing those pipelines. Next. These are some pictorials for Works Package 2 Lot 1. You can see the pipes have been delivered, and on this side you can see the works going on in very tight well use that sometimes cause delays, but we're dealing with it. Next. This is the CS who came to visit the project one of the times. Next. Again, the CS launching the construction of Works Package 2 Lot 1 in September last year. Next. This is when we were giving the jet flushing truck to Kiwasco through the county government of Kisumu to enable them to maintain the sewers. Next. This is an appreciation, a delegation from the financiers who came to visit the project. Next. So we have some risks and challenges. As I said before, we have restricted well use, as you are aware. Slow pace of processing requirements like tax exemption. Slow disbursement of GOK counterpart funding. The GOK counterpart funding is the one we are using for stakeholder engagement and resettlement action plan. You see this program being financed by the EU, AFD, and those financiers. Environmental and social safeguards are put very high. So whoever is touched by the program, they have to be compensated, and this comes on the GOK component, and sometimes it delays. Then the last challenge that we are having, especially in Otonglo, for the sewer, we had a challenge with the community in terms of accepting to host this wastewater treatment plant, but we've held a very robust stakeholder engagement, and now we are progressing. And I'd like to appreciate the support of the MCAs who are here, the MCA Uko, the rest who are here. They supported us to talk to the community so that we can be able to move so that that area is served. So in a nutshell, LB Watson is going to be a game changer in Kisumu, and once we hand it over to Kiwasco, I think the residents are going to get served quite well. So apart from LB Watson, we also have other plans that we're doing, for example, that relate to Kiwasco. We are in contact with the African Development Bank so that we can be able to revive Maseno Pompewa, a water supply project, and also Nyakach water supply, apart from others that are not related to Kiwasco. So that is it. That is LB Watson for you. Hope the people will get good service once it is handed over. Thank you.
Thank you, Kenneth and Annette, for bringing us up to speed in terms of asset development. I want to request that we'll have a question and answer session. At the end, we still just have 2 presentations coming, then we'll go into plenary. So kindly just note your questions. The time is upcoming. So allow me to invite Albert Ochuodo. As we know you as Ochuodo, the director today mentioned you as Onyango. So maybe we need to know why we've not had that name before. Karibu, so that you give us the other bit of the regulator's presentation. For our audience, it's important that you get to know that Lake Victoria develops the assets, and us as the water company, we just do the service provision. And of course, we have the regulator oversighting all these activities. Karibu, Albert.
Thank you very much. Observing the already established protocols. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon again. Good afternoon. Asanteni sana. As you have been told, my name is Albert Chuodo. Chuodo is my surname. Onyango is my name. So, my CEO likes to call me Onyango, but again, you can also call me Chuodo because that's my father's name. Okay, so I'm supposed to take you through, or take us through the service delivery models that we have for rural and unserved areas. And as we put up the slides, I don't know whether they're already up, yes. The slides are up. During the introduction, I had a participant saying that she was here to represent a water project. She was at the back. I can't recall the water project, but it was a water project. So I just wanted to know that other than Kisumu Water, within Kisumu County, we do have other service providers that we need to know what they're doing and also improve or enhance their service delivery. So I want us to have first a glance of the sector. And I'm going to take as short time as possible because I'm not going to find out. We look at the sector and I'm not able to see what is being displayed. Yeah, good. So we look at the sector, and these are as at June 2024, the impact report that was released. We were saying that as a country, you are looking at only 46% of our population are living within regulated service areas. Yeah? That is 46%. Then we have another 41% who are outside regulated service providers. And then you're saying, of the 46% that lives within the regulated service area, we still have 30% of them that are not being served. In as much as they live within the regulated service areas, they're not getting services. Yeah? So it is important that we seek ways of reaching out to even the unserved and those living in rural areas. Now, if you look at Kisumu as a county, the figures show the same period as at June 2024. You're looking at Kisumu as a county, not Kisumu as a PSP now. Kisumu as a county. Now, Kisumu as a county, the figures statistics show that only 36% of your population, or rather of Kisumu County population, are served by a regulated water service providers. So we have another 64% who are served by
service providers that probably we know them, but they are not regulated by the regulator. So in terms of services they offer, there are some standards that probably they are not meeting, but it's important they meet. Now, if you look at the 46% population, that is what it is. So it is important that we think about this 46%. Who is serving them, and can we have to know them, and can we improve their services? As we improve the one of the main targets. Now, if you look at some of these small scale, you can call them small scale service providers. Of course, they are going through a number of challenges that we need now to help them address. If you look at these challenges, talking about the financial challenges, you look at things like inadequate funding. Probably my colleagues from the Victoria South have not heard you mention, other than Odongolo, Seme, other than Kisumu water. We have small scale service providers that you should also consider when you are putting in place proposal for financing. We have high operational costs. They cannot probably be able to get the spare parts that they need. You're looking at the poor tariff collection. Some of them, the tariff that they use, they are so outdated. They are so outdated, and they need to be revised so that they reflect what is happening in our economy. Technical issues, the infrastructure is old. We are looking at inappropriate technology for the context. We have issues like such as lack of spare parts, because some of those equipment are very old, are outdated. Management, governance issues. We have things like misappropriation of funds. There's no oversight. Probably there are no boards there. So the governance structures need also to be improved. Those are some of the challenges that these small-scale service providers are facing. Now, this is what we see. I don't know where you come from. If you move around, you will see broken down systems. Yeah? Yes, you did a project as in Victoria South. You handed it over to the community. The community is not able to sustain the operation of the project. So after some time, they get breakdown. You do solarization, but of course, after sinking a borehole, you do the solar. Who is going to maintain it? So this is what we are seeing, and the statistics show that a third of rural water systems are broken down. And it goes further to say that in 2/3 of those systems fail within the 3rd to the 5th years from the commercial operation. So these are systems that we really need to use. And this is what we are saying, this is what we want. For the new systems that we're developing, we want that we need to put in place proper management model from the start. That is for the new ones. But the ones that are already existing, we need to figure out how are we going to progressively move them towards appropriate management model. So it is important that we leave no one behind. Now, given that background, the regulator at the national government, they were able to come up with a standard to help us improve access and also improve service delivery in those areas. And we're looking at they're able to do things like the water is safe, affordable, and sustainable. So the guideline is there, and we're going to look at some of the areas which are important in the guideline. Why do we need this guideline? We need to ensure there's uniform standards. Kisumu water is being monitored, and you saw the KPIs and their performance in terms of non-revenue water, personnel cost, drinking water quality. As a regulator, we're able to monitor that. But these other service providers, these people that are serving the remaining 64% of Kisumu County, who is monitoring them? And which standard are they applying? So it is important that we have uniform standards applicable across all the service providers. And then we have to professionalize the service so that we have people who actually can deliver on their bandage. You look at the national reporting. We are talking about currently the coverage that is 70% or 73%. Probably, and that was after we took into consideration some of these small-scale service providers. If we leave them out, the figure actually will be lower than the 70 and above we're talking about. but we also need to factor because they're also playing a part in service delivery. So we also need to put into place their contribution into the overall scheme of things. And then we are supposed to support the county government. Through this, we are able to support the county government in achieving one of their mandates of providing services in the areas that are not considered commercially viable. Now, I'm not going to go into that so much. Go straight into the models. The guideline proposed about 6 models. The first model is where, as a water service provider, for example, Kiwasco, you have another service provider within your area of service. I don't know where the Gulf, is it called Gulf? Is it Gulf? Is Gulf within Kiwasco service area? What about Nyanam? No. They are outside. Yeah, so if you get one that happen to be within Kiwasco service area, then what you can do, one, is you can take it over, goes through the county government approval. The already established WSP can be allowed to take over the small one, so that you also operate as one. The other approach is that then you can delegate responsibility. So where you have a small service provider within the service provision area of a larger one, then the large one can delegate responsibility. You get into a contractual agreement with the small one, where you delegate responsibility of service provision to the small one. The other approach is where now contract a private contractor. You get into what is called a management contract. So this operator is operating within your service area. You can get a private party to come and offer services in that area, of course, with an agreement with what? The licensed water service provider. That is another approach. The fourth one is where this small service provider is commercially viable. So instead of handing over responsibility or getting into management contract, you can actually split that service area so that then you form 2 service providers. They become 2 service providers. So that is the fourth approach. Now, the fifth approach, and this is where now this small-scale service provider is existing outside the licensed service provider's area of service. So, for example, you have Kiwasco here, then you have another one, let's say Nyanas or Kombewa or Sembe, that one. You can have them also established as a rural water service provider, so that maybe Kiwasco can remain as urban, you concentrate maybe in Maseno, Kisumu, and other towns. Then the county established another water service provider to cater for the rural population. So that is another approach. The final approach is this one. This is where, yes, the county has established the 2 service providers, the urban and the rural. But for the rural, they engage a private party, because probably reasons of economic reasons, financial reasons. So you get a private party to come and do what? Provide services for the rural area. So those are some of the proposals in the guidelines that the county can consider in its attempts to provide water services within the county of Kisumu. Asante sana.
Thank you. Thank you for that presentation, Albert. So now we are going to the last presentation of the day. This is going to be done by our Managing Director, Thomas Odongo. So MD, I invite you to give us the final presentation. After this, we'll go straight to the plenary, whereby we have the questions and answers. So you can have your questions and answers ready for all the presentations since morning. Karibu MD.
Thank you very much. I want to I congratulate the presence of our city manager, who is also our board member, Mr. Abala Wanga, the CEO, WASREP, country manager, WhatsApp, our partner, Bank of Bombay, our board led by the chairman, members of the county assembly, of course our Waziris, our board member. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Before I start, can I get the slide on the traffic lights very quickly? Yes, yes. Haki yetu, si ndio? Hapo kwa staff productivity, should it be amber or green? Amber or green? Yeah, it shall be green, si ndio? So haki yetu, so convert that to green. So tuko na dot moja ya red na dot moja. Yeah, so I thought we should get that right. So the ambers are not as many. We are only left with our personnel expenditure and of course revenue, water. We can now go to my presentation, and I want to be very brief so that we tackle the tariff. As has been said, this has been a process. Our tariff expired in end of June 2025. So for the last 10 months, we have been operating on an expired tariff, okay? But we are surviving, it is called resilience. So I'm very happy that finally we have reached this stage. Unfortunately, when we have reached this stage, then things are happening on the ground. Mambo kwa ground yamebadilika, si ndio? So you know Trump has happened. So you know fuel prices have gone up. Transport costs have gone up. So it really poses a challenge for us as utilities on how we are going to manage. But of course, we are going to discuss with the regulator because these are realities that are on the ground. It affects everybody, either mostly negatively. Yeah, so I wanted us to understand that so that even as we discuss the proposed changes, then let's know that the ground has shifted where prices are now escalating. Yeah, I won't go into all this. We all know this has been mentioned why it increased. Our strategic foundation, we discussed our vision, our corporate values. We started that when we had the kiwasco anthem. That is what we are talking about. Our value proposition, that is also something that we have discussed. Our strategic pillars, I think this is very important. Our first strategic pillar is to increase water and sanitation access and coverage, and that will be detailed in our plans for the next 5 years. To improve operational efficiency, improve financial sustainability. We discussed sustainability over and over. Actually, that is the first presentation that we had. Service to the low-income areas, very important for us because quite a significant proportion of our populace live in the low-income areas. Increase in customer satisfaction, that is at the core of our heart because when we have happy customers, we have happy employees and happy city. Increase employee productivity, very, very important. That's why I had to correct that amber to green. And of course, enhance corporate governance and image. Our governance structures, this has already been explained. very well by our board chair, so I won't go into that. Our infrastructure, we've already talked about our two sources, the lake source and the Kajuru source with different capacities. Our supply network, the number of kilometers has been talked about. Sanitation, we have also two plants. We talk about on-site sanitation when we, in subsequent slides. Our sewer network, you can see it's significantly lower than the water network, and you'll see that when I invite the chief engineer to come and talk about technical. Propo initiatives, Elder, you can come and talk through this very quickly.
Well, good afternoon. I'll take us through the social connection policy and Propo initiatives that we're having. As we all know, Kisumu, we are majorly, most of us live in areas that have been zoned as low-income areas. So 70% that is, so we really need to look at that area with a keen eye, and I'm happy that a speaker came earlier and said that we need to look at the Mama Boga. So as kiwasco, this is core for us, and we've ensured that it is part of those things that we take very seriously. So the first thing, we have what we call social connection policy, and I'm happy that Mirko is in the room because he gave us some seed money to help collection fee today. We say come to kiwasco, you only pay your deposit as a commitment, and then we give you the connection up to your household, and we allow you to pay up to 1 year, a period of 1 year. A number of people since we started the initiative have come forward, and they have water courtesy of this, and we say thank you, Mirko, for that. And we still encourage other partners in the house to also put money in that kitty. The beauty of the kitty, it's money that will always be there to serve the people of Kisumu. Number 2 is a delegated management model, where again access in the low-income area becomes very difficult for our staff, and we ensure that we have, you've seen the models that have been put there. We have a number of people from the community, from the low-income areas, that we've gotten into contact with to enable them supply the areas where they stay, because they know these people better, and they also have good relationship with them. And in turn, we've also seen that our collection and even our revenue figures have gone very low. Water kiosk is another model that we're looking to ensure that we serve everyone. And we always sell water at very low prices for 20-liter jerry cans. And then we have the prepaid meters as well. On-site sanitation, again, we looked at, we've had the presentation, the sewer coverage is very low. So we look at the on-site sanitation, and I'm happy that some players are within the room. So we have 2 vacuum trucks, and if you see our pricing model for that, is just to ensure that you as a customer, you're protected. So we are giving very competitive rates to ensure that all the other vacuum trucks, hao wenye wako na hiyo inaitwa nini, mtungi wa nini? Ile yenye ulikuwa nayo jana inaenda. So those who have those, we ensure that we regulate that pricing in that given sector. Then we have the pit emptiers who have been operating in the dark. We know them, they come to our homes, they ensure they remove the waste from our pit latrines, but we used not to know where they go to. So we've taken initiatives as kiwasco and ensured that we formalize them into groups. So right now we've allowed them to bring all those wastes to kiwasco in the effort of saving Lake Victoria and ensuring that our environment is well taken care of. We also have condominium sewers, which I know have received a number of complaints from the informal sectors, and we are looking at better ways of managing them so that they serve us as was intended. Then we've talked about the normal sewer systems. The second one is hygiene. We've also moved into the schools, and we've brought in a number of clubs on board. The second thing I'm going to talk to is the customer service. As we've seen, our vision is to be the best, the most admired service provider. And to do that, we have to be in touch with you as our customer and stakeholder at all time. So one, we have ensured that we have all means of communication. Any other that you don't see on this board and you think can help us, we're always open. You bring it forward to us so that we ensure that we are able to explore all options that enable us reach you in a timely manner. So we have the call center, which is, the number is 057 500 7000. We have a toll-free number. If you want to send an SMS, it's 40222, always there. We have USSD. USSD is more like your own service center. You just give instruction and you're able to get whether you want to require your bill, you want to pay your bill, you want to send a complaint, then when you have the USSD, you are sorted with everything. Same to Kiwasco app, which you can download from the App Store. We have our email address, info@customercare.co.ke. In case you have to send in your complaint in terms of a mail, then that is the email to use. Other than that, we have also official WhatsApp group, and we are looking at exploring this and seeing how we are able to capture more people. Currently, we are at 1,200. It's been very helpful to us because we're able to get views from every side of the city, and in case we have any lapses anywhere, then we are able to sort it in real time. Our social media platforms are also very active. Same to our customer care where you can walk in. The next one is we realize also we live within people, and if you're working amongst people, you have to live with them. So we've looked at what we're able to do for the community around us, and as been said before from the CEO when he started WASREP through to MD and even our chair, is sustainability is the word. So whenever we are engaging in those things, we ensure that we do things that will stand the test of time. And you'll be able to say Kiwasco has been here with us. So number one is the environment conservation. We get our water from Kajulu River, and we know what happens around that Kajulu area, deforestation and all that. We've taken measures to ensure that we restore the area. Number two, we've established a tree nursery where we even give trees to our customers and other stakeholders when they mature so that we take care of our environment. But we've also realized that education is key, and we've decided to sponsor, right now we have 20 students in school. From the first cohort is now in Form 3, and the second cohort is the new grade 10 that have just gotten into school. And we hope that this is a yearly thing that will continue sustaining for the years to come. But in the same breath, we also have our children, and we realize that language is the most important thing that you can give a child. If you can teach a child how to express themselves, how to read and write, then that is it. So we've partnered with the National Media Group to ensure that we give them newspapers on a daily basis, which they use for their curriculum. Asanteni sana.
Next is the financials. Nick Osetti.
Good afternoon. Just taking us briefly on the financials. As you can see, the company has grown over time, and even in terms of billing. In 2020, we were doing a revenue of 794 million. We moved to 797. In 2022, we were doing 900. 2023, we hit the 1 billion mark. 2024, we're also in a billion. And currently, as of 2025, we are 1.1 billion. We are looking at being at 1.2 billion in this financial year. In terms of profitability, you can see we are 600. That has moved to 979 million from 2020 to 2025. Now, we're looking at other income and operating expenses, and which is important to us because this becomes the basis of the tariff, the expenses, because the tariff that we have is a cost recovery tariff. And we look at it that we have been moving from 674 million to 789 to 849 million, 870, 923, and the prices and the cost has gone to 1 billion, has hit 1 billion. So that means that even if we are doing, as we do the tariff, we are taking cognizance of the cost escalations. Because the tariffs that we have, as I say, is a cost recovery. We are not there to make profits. Then we have the finance costs. Then we have our profitability, which is profit before tax. This has been changing over time, but as I said, we don't exist to make profits. We exist to provide service. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Nick. Nick is the Chief Manager of Corporate Services. The next slide is on technical. Chief Engineer.
Thank you, MD. My work is slightly easier than my two colleagues because this table here is what was presented before by WASDA, and they called it traffic light table. Now, in terms of water coverage, I'll bring slightly a little perspective. Our area of jurisdiction in terms of service provision in water covers Kisumu Central constituency, Kisumu East, and Kisumu West. In terms of percentage of coverage, Kisumu Central we cover 100%, meaning that we are able to supply Kisumu Central 24 hours, 7 days a week fully. Kisumu East, we are struggling to attain the 100% because of the kind of infrastructure we have, and that also applies to Kisumu West. Now in Kisumu East, for example, we are not serving Kisumu North fully, and I know the chairman of water from the county comes from that area, so we are not able to serve them fully. We are also not able to serve parts of Chiga, Molem, Nyalunya, and beyond. But I'm happy that Lake Victoria South are intervening so that we are, in the next, I would say 5 years, we'll be able to increase our coverage from 93%, which we currently have, close to 95%. And of course, the financing is there through the LV Watson project which was mentioned. It is also important to mention that we have 2 sources of water, where we treat the water which is supplied to the residents. And from Dunga, which we all know, just a few minutes from here, we pump. And of course, we've been fully relying on grid power. And one of our partners, Bay, is with us here. We are thinking of utilizing the solarization of our plants, so that we don't fully, of course, rely on grid power. And when Trump does these things, we might not be so much affected. In terms of sewer coverage, we've rather been stagnant at about 18%. And this was explained by our colleague from Lake Victoria. LV Watson is sorting out this. Upon completion of that project, in our strategic plan, we'll be at about 30% in terms of coverage. But I'm happy to note that areas like Lolwe, Maua estates, and those estates which have been having problems in those areas are going to be sorted out in terms of sewer coverage. Of course, also in the low-income areas, we are doing a lot in terms of sewerage coverage. But the challenge we are having is the sewer projects are done, but people are not connected. You saw the numbers presented by Lake Victoria South. There is money to enable you as a customer to be connected almost free of charge. But despite that, the uptake is very low, and therefore I would encourage the members here that you help us to increase the uptake of sewer connections. In terms of quality, we are actually at 100%. Yeah, and that is why we are able to drink the water from our treatment plants right from the jugs. We are not using bottled water. And of course, this is a contribution which has been done by all of us. Because we are also, I think, as the residents of Kisumu, becoming more keen in terms of managing our environment. Just before kiwasco came into being, every year you used to hear cholera outbreak in Nyalenda. And I think that has become something of the past, and it is because of the work we are doing together as kiwasco in terms of water quality and also the residents. Where we are at the red is non-revenue water management. I saw Wasrep's figure was 32%. In 2025, ours is 35%. And I was asking our non-revenue water manager why the difference. So he says he's going to look into it, though we are still at the red. Now, non-revenue water management is something which is for all of us. So when I say all of us, what do I mean? It requires involvement of everybody. For example, when you see a water pipe burst as a resident of Kisumu, I think my colleague from Commercial Elder has given our contacts, and we encourage that please report to us so that we can address the issues of bursts and leaks. And here in Kisumu, we have very high number of bursts and leaks. Why? Because our existing infrastructure, which our chair mentioned, in terms of kilometers, we have almost 816 kilometers of water network. I want to jog the mind of people here. What is the distance from here, Kisumu, up to Mombasa? Somebody to just answer. It's about 800 kilometers. Actually, if you Google, it is 814 kilometers to be exact. Meaning that here in Kisumu, the kind of network we are dealing with is from Kisumu to Mombasa. And that is actually 2-inch pipe size after the biggest pipe size in Kisumu's network. What we have not counted is the service lines. Service lines meaning from our distribution line getting into your homes. So that we are working so that we put it together in our network, and probably we are even at 1,000. So every month we get about 1,000 reported and mapped leaks and bursts. It is because of the age of our existing network. Out of that 816, about 60% of that network, we call it old and dilapidated network. Meaning, it has served its useful life and it requires replacement or renewal. And this requires funds. And I think probably that's why we are here, so that these funds can be available. In terms of collection efficiency, we are at 102%, and complaint resolutions about 93. Thank you.
Yeah, so that's where we are in terms of the technical aspects of the business. On the screen, these are just some of the accolades that we have. Wasted is here, we've been the best in customer service over the years, Makofi. Our current customer satisfaction index is at 79.9. We aim to go to 84% within the next 5 years. We were the best in Pro assessment, in Impact 15 and 16. Last year, we were the best in governance, Makofi. Hiyo mnapigia bodi makofi, ndio? Okay. You see our license. Our license is for 8 years. Wengine wako kwa 3 years, wengine 2 years. But how many have 8-year license? Have we 2 or 3? How many kiwasco peke yake? Not more than 5. Just makofi kwa kiwasco. Okay, and the regulator is yet to confirm. Office building, you know, the chair talked about it. I mean, the lady talks about a good thing. Told back and done something. Of course, you've been ISO certified. You are one of the companies that, water companies, the first water companies to be ISO certified. And these have been renewed every year. And we have an accredited laboratory. Onboarding process for a new customer are pretty standard. We want to digitize this. We want to digitize this in the next few months. So it will be a self-service thing. But the requirement, of course, you have to fill in a form, and of course, because of data protection, lazima you sign for a data consent, okay? You need your ID, your KRA PIN. If you're a tenant, we need a copy of the tenancy agreement or lease agreement, and we need an alternative ID for contact person. Of course, landlord consent, but if the land is yours, what we need is the title deed. Yeah. Of course, the others are now what you do after you have filled in the form. As I've said, we want to digitize this process so that it is friendly and it is faster. Of course, we have challenges, and we've talked about this. One of them is climate change. We are all aware about the negative impacts of climate change. Low sewer connectivity, these are what we talked about. High non-revenue water. I think I can assure you, I'm fairly confident that by the end of this financial year, we will be at 20%. You know, and I was just talking to the CEO, in the impact report, if your NRW is more than 30%, you are losing 20%, 20 points. Yeah. So we start at a disadvantage. So this year, Chief Engineer and Revenue Water Manager, Head of Commercial, that everybody in this room, you have a role to play in making us be below 30%. Sindio? Now you're below 30%, CEO, ameniambia, 20 points already in the bag. Sindio? Tunapata hizo 20 points. Yeah, so I think that is critical. The other challenge, contractors. Contractors wanachukua sana. City manager. Yeah? These contractors, they vandalize. See, you see them everywhere, sindio? Yeah. Si mnaona? They also a cause for the high non-revenue water. And of course, encroachment of water catchment areas. Meter theft. Meter theft is a big problem. And remember, what tunasema, shika mwizi pata chapa. If you report that we catch a meter thief, you get 10,000 shillings. It is a big, big problem, and it's a source of the high non-revenue water. Of course, those are some of the challenges that we have, and that is the end of the presentation. I want us to move to the tariff, and I want to draw your attention to the tariff document. I believe you have all gone through it. And when the CEO was doing his presentation, it was very clear that Kisumu has one of the lowest tariff in the country. Okay? While the national average is, was it 107? 115. As we are moving from 83 to 88, which is still very low. So if you have this document, and this is what I want us to discuss now, and then we go to plenary. Look at the second table. Are we all there? Do we have extra copies of this document? Oh, okay. Eco digital. Okay? Eco digital. So you can see from there. Go to the second table. Move it to the second table. Yes. That is where we are. Our current lifeline tariff, the lowest band is at 83 shillings. We proposed to move it to 88 shillings, which is a 5 shillings increase. I want to break that down. 5 shillings increase for 1 meter cubed, which is 1,000 liters. Okay? Which is 1,000 liters. There's a bottle of water is on here. Inside here. And we don't accept this. So, you don't accept. So this is one liter. How much did you buy it at?
Around 56 shillings.
56 shillings. No. Nani? 1 liter. And we are saying for 1,000 liters, which will get 5 shillings per month. But you also don't pengine nini? Jioni ama kesho. You still spend another 56 shillings. So actually, the increase is negligible. And in our negotiations with the regulator, they were asking us, are you sure? Can you take it up a bit? And I said, our people will agree to take it up because it is minimal. Okay? Tumekubaliana hapo? Thank you, makubaliana na mimi. The next band, 7 to 20, and I'll talk about the 2 bands only, is 11 shillings. Again, minimal if you compare this thing. Again, minimal. And then the rest now you can do the maths. For the first time, we are having a tariff for multi-dwelling units, which is 132 per cubic meter. Makasembo, Papa. Are we happy? You asked for this. Are we happy? Thank you. Okay, and then the others are the commercial. You can see the difference. For bulk, these are unique consumers. We are moving from 66 shillings to 70. Now for kiosks, we are proposing a 15 shillings increase from 35 to 50. And kiosks are very notorious. The regulator expects you to sell a 20-liter jerrycan at 2 shillings. But you don't sell at 2 shillings. No. Mnauza pesa ngapi? 5 bob. Sasa tunakubalia kuuza 5 bob, but we increase your tariff by 15 shillings only. Okay? But your 5 bob is for 20-liter jerrycan. Does it increase 15 shillings for 1,000 liters? Sio bado ni kidogo. Thank you. Let's go to sewer tariff. Let's go to sewer tariff. We are there. Our sewer coverage is less than, is 18%. How many are connected to sewer here? I think water coverage is 18%. 1, 2, 3, 4, 11. Attendance list to kwa ngapi hapo?
5%.
Minus what's there? So engineer Jura, he has 18%. In this room only the statistics show we are less than 5%. Yeah? So for sewer, for the few who are here, if you have attach your manana sewer. Okay, the sewer is coming. Yeah, I think LBS has a plan for you. So for sewer, 1 to 6, the lowest tariff, we are proposing a 6 shillings increase. The second band also a 6 shillings increase. For multi-dwellings, it is 74. And then you have the other categories for commercial or industrial. government institutions, then we have public schools, colleges, and universities. There are those who use sewer, but they do not have a water connection. For single dwelling, it's a flat rate of 300 shillings per month. All other categories, it's 75% of the volume of water consumed as per the metered source at the rate specified. So that is the proposed changes. As I've said, it is minimal. I know the county assembly will be back in session in the next 10 minutes. So if you agree, let's dispense with this agenda within the shortest time possible, because these things are self-explanatory. But I'll give you back your water, but next time the shoe will be soon water for that. But you can now refill it in sumo water. Yes, yes. Yeah, so we are moving to the plenary, and kindly let's have the 2 microphones moved around. I await to hear your comments. Wasdom is here. CEO, you can just stand so that we take the comments together. Yeah, comments? Yes, Chair Emeritus.
Thank you very much for the very detailed presentation. Since now I'm sitting on the side of consumers, I want to suggest that where you have added 11 shillings, that is on consumption block 7 to 20, 21 to 50, that you make it 10 shillings. And that is a very small request. You just increase 1 shilling.
Thank you, Chair Emeritus. Chair, kindly check for me the account for Chair Emeritus. Don't ever want to consume that. You see whether he's becoming selfish or he's talking on behalf of consumers. Yeah, any other comment? Yes. Every day, I can see from here.
Thank you, Chair. All the protocols observed. I was very, very excited when I saw these tariffs. I compared even with Nairobi and others, and what you have said is true, that they are among the most considerate. Now, as well as we say that, there is always room for doing better. Kisumu is a target for a lot of development. Like in our project, we are doing 1,000 houses, almost 1,000 houses, which is going to benefit people here and other investors who are coming. And we are one of the beneficiaries of the MDUs. MDU is multi-dwelling units. And I want to thank the kiwasco, because we have moved a journey with them, and they have done a lot of considerations. And what I'll say, MD, you have a very good staff. We have never come direct to you, because the people we are working with, Madam Obonyo, yeah, we sat with her the last, and she said she will make sure that MDU is included. We are looking MDU in our project, but everybody take cognizance of the affordable housing which is done by the government, which will also be a beneficiary to this tariff. Meaning that Kisumu is going high, and it will attract a lot of people who want to do investment in apartments. Because one of the considerations we do is the utilities. Is there sewer? Is there water? What are the tariffs? Because we don't want to build houses that people cannot afford water. Now, my request is MDUs is at 132. Is it possible to bring it down like 121. That is the second cadre of the second cadre of the residential. Because if you look at those people who are consuming water, their tariffs usually is at that second cadre, most of them. But now, if you look at now, the 131 is on the, is it that? Is it on that cadre?
132.
Yes. Is so much on the lower cadre. So that would be my request, because you see like now the affordable houses given done by the government. Some of the houses are occupied with people who even buy water in jerrycans. You have seen it in the newspapers. We don't want Kisumu now to go back to jerrycans. And the taking it is technical. Taking water up there is very expensive.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Your name and where you come from?
Engineer Kimani Gatai. I'm with the LAFAD project. Yes, I'm present with LAFAD.
Thank you, Engineer. We don't want to go back to jerrycans. We have eliminated jerrycans in town. Engineer, you want to take us there? Na hiyo 121 yako. Tuke mkono tupei jerrycans. Tafadhali. The change, I mean, it's the first time we are having the MDU. And these tariffs, we started discussing them last year. The reality on the ground, ladies and gentlemen, has changed. And we all agree that it has changed. Yeah. So the proposal is to say, this is good, but let's not take the reality of the ground. So, the fuel prices have gone up, transport costs will go up. Already I have requests from suppliers saying that we are changing, we request for a change in price, otherwise we stop supplying. Comment? Any other comment? And as you raise up your hand, you say your name and where you come from.
Thank you. My name is Peter Basu. I'm a member of the County Assembly, and I come from Kurwa Central, Kisumu East. Mine is to appreciate the work that you are doing. Secondly, I want to talk about the sewer line. When I saw the percentages being at the screen, it's a bit low. And urbanization is rapidly catching up with us. There is increase in population, and we just mine is just to request you to put more emphasis on sewer line. Secondly, I want to talk again about pipe extension. I think through extending your pipe extension will give access to the bigger population, mostly in Kisumu East, where the percentage was a bit low compared to Kisumu Central. It was about 100%. Kisumu East was a bit low. And Kisumu East is just adjacent to the town. So mine is also to request you to extend the pipelines in mostly around the Masaria area, around Ofunyo, around Kodero, and also around Kibos area. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mheshimiwa. Engineer, you've taken note of those areas. If you look at the planned activities in the same document, that is where we are going to add that. So engineer kindly add. On sewer, LBS is doing something as was presented. So we'll also look at the areas that you have mentioned. So I take it that you don't have a problem with the tariff as long as these investments are taken care of. Thank you so much, Mheshimiwa. Yes, Apa? Yes.
Thank you very much. My name is Okot Fabian.
and I come from Nyakach. Basically, most of the speakers have talked about Kisumu, and I want to talk about the rural areas. Now, my suggestion is on the billing. The billing that has been experienced in the rural areas, I would rather say it is ambiguous, because the taps that have been dry throughout the year, and a bill comes or somebody surfaces with a bill that I would characterize as stunning. Talk about 30,000, 3,000, 5,000, but most of the year the taps have been dry. So can we improve this billing system so that it is something specific and commensurate with the supply? So let us also improve on the reliability of the supply, which should be connected to the bill. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Pastor. You prayed for us very well at the beginning. Yes, Mheshimiwa Adega Rosanombe.
Thank you so much, MD. I just have only one issue. On the tariff, there's nothing I will say. I will accept as it is. And in Kajulu, we give water, and there's part of Kajulu where they don't get water. Last year you promised us that the water will pass through Bukna, and I refused to do a bowl for them, where you told me that there's water coming up from there to Bukna, where you have launched everything and there's no water there, kindly. Or you want me to do a bowl?
Thank you, Mheshimiwa. Apatia Mheshimiwa from Nyakach.
Thank you very much. James Omolo. One, I hope these rates are not for Nyakach, because I think Nyanas is being run by kiwasco. I hope, I think Vice Rep is here as a regulator, so I think it is not the other one. My point is on multi-dwelling. In fact, this rate of 132 is very low. How many units are in an apartment? How many consumers consume how much of water in an apartment? And when you give them at 132, and single households, their amount 207 to 20 are almost the same. In a multi-story building, like the ones coming up, they will consume so much. So this 132 should be revised even to 200, because I think that's the truth. So that it really makes sense. But if you leave it at 132, assuming everybody in that apartment has its own meter, they will be all in band 2. And they will be all paying on their own. And it is too much. So when they are being given a leverage of everyone in 1 meter for that multi-story, the rate should be very high. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mheshimiwa. Mheshimiwa Adega, the book na issue, I think, give engineer the microphone to answer that, I think, so that we give real-time solutions. Yeah.
Yeah, Bukna is under a project which is called NB Watson Package 2, which was explained by my colleague from the Victoria. We are going to pump water from Obuolo. Then in between Bukna and Obuolo, there's going to be a new reservoir. And actually this contract has been awarded already. The one where the CS water came and lodged in Obuolo. And then at Bukna Primary, we'll have an overhead tank, which will then receive water and gravitate within the environments of Bukna. Thank you.
Just give him a reaction. Mheshimiwa hiyo boho let us
You see, the duration, because I'm going to be voted out because of voting.
When it started, please. I've been told you are going home. You are one person. Every time. I can't even attend funeral in that area.
Mheshimiwa, the project has actually started. Yeah? If you go to that area, utapata excavation inaendelea na kazi inaendelea. So just visit and you'll see for yourself. Thank you.
Okay, about the tariffs, I think it is good with all of us. But one thing I want to say to Kiwasco, for that you people do the last mile connection to each and every household. It won't be expensive. You see, these people who are selling water, they are not even selling at 5 shillings, they are selling at 10 shillings. Some at 75 shillings. That is why the community are crying the water is so expensive. But the rate you are giving is not that expensive. But the people that are selling water are selling at that rate, which is so high. If you go to Obunga, where I come from, I represent Railway Ward, Obunga and Nyawita. I'm happy to see my MCA here. I was asking where he is. Nowadays, people are just using that brewery water, and it is contaminated because the water is so expensive in Obunga. Do the assessment. The people who are selling water are selling at the highest price. They should be charged and be taken to court for manipulating the community members. So let us work out. There are donors who can support with the pipes so that each and every person will be connected to their doorsteps. The water will be so cheap to each and everyone. People want water, but how they can apply becomes so expensive. Many people do not attend meetings, so they don't know what is happening. Leave no one behind. I'm talking to Lake Victoria now. You are charging a sewer line. Obunga, we don't have a sewer line. Our feces are going to Riverway. The issue of the pit emptiers is no longer there because they are so expensive. We have come back to our normal system of removing from the toilet to the outside pit. Our waters are contaminated because the exhaustion is so expensive. I'm asking Lake Victoria because they were telling me something which does not make sense to me, according to my understanding. The sewer line that was set for Obunga people is serving the Nyawita community. And the Obunga people cannot connect it because it goes like this. You can't connect it. It goes round. So we need a sewer line, Lake Victoria, that comes from the railway, that housing community, so that we will be able to be connected. Or you need us to build a story building for us to be qualified for the sewer line. Because the people you are caring is Lolwe, Makasembu. But we in Obunga, we are left behind. Leave no one behind. Plan for us and tell us when are we going to have sewer lines. Because we are back to the way we are. That is why you are saying there is no cholera. There is diarrhea in Obunga. There is. And I'm talking to the in charge of environment here. Go to Obunga, you will see feces everywhere now. Because we have everywhere with dump site. So Lake Victoria considers with the sewer line. Please.
Thank you so much, Filgona, and very useful feedback. Let's go there, then we have some answers at the back. Yeah. So, head of commercial, you've had that. Let's revisit the Bunga. I think that's something that you cannot allow. Ben Ondego, and Ben Ondego and the Propua coordinator. Kindly also reveal the issue of people selling water at 75 shillings, 100 shillings. I saw the water police around. Can you visit tomorrow? Thank you. Proceed.
Thank you, kiwasco and WASREP for the work you are doing. May I have one concern on connection of water? There are persons with disability who are there. They do not have water connections. But paying 5,000, should it be equal with the others? Or they should be having a waiver? Thank you, that's my concern.
Thank you very much. What's her name?
My name is Nancy.
Okay, thank you very much. I think what I want to say about that is that there's no waiver. When it comes to water, we don't have waivers. WASREP does not allow that. But we have the social connection policy that was explained here. You can take advantage of that. Then that 5,000 can be paid for you, and you'll be paid with your monthly bills over a 12-month period. That's why you have the social connection policy. Thank you. Behind there, I think, yes, he was the first one. The one behind there, his hand has been up.
My name is Khaled Owimangar, and I already touched on the appeal, but it has been addressed because we are told that is the minute money of tomorrow. Another thing, I want to congratulate kiwasco for a quick response whenever I report water pass. I come from Mozambique State, and it seems there's been all these rumors about demolition, so the kiwasco are not very much helping us in here. I've stayed there since, and before we used to have showers. Now the water is coming very slow. We can't even have shower, and I think now we should be having bathtubs, even in those cases. Another thing is in
terms of CSR for this community, in order for them to feel appreciated. Improving or extending that treatment plant to serve our people for 24 hours. Finally,
what you can do for the community. Yeah, so we'll have a discussion, and you can follow this up with me and Wade. We can visit Waziri in our office, then we have discussion. Partners are waiting to come and support the utility, and you can talk to Banco next to you. I know he's also passionate about rural water service provision. Anthony is also here. He keeps on asking me.
That is good. But again, I want to request you, as a driver, maybe you need kiwasco. They may be having data for persons with disability, or maybe they do not also have. And again, on in Nyamena, we have toilets that are there. They have been built by kiwasco. But persons with disability, they have hard work in accessing them. It's who give quality services to persons with disability. It is important they have a guideline on how they can recognize them. For persons with disability, there will be people who are older but they are persons with disability. There are people who are persons with disability but they are in the village. You need to have the rate.
I task the kiwasco team to take note of that. Let's ensure that any facility that is associated with us is disability friendly, inclusion training of kiwasco staff and board of directors. This is crucial for fostering workplace environment that values diversity and promotes equal opportunities. We take the last round, then I give it to WASREP to answer any query that would have been there.
At least tuwekewe, tulikuwa tuna request kama inawezekana kwa Ubunga area.
Asante sana kwa hayo maoni. Tutaketi na watu wa tunafaa kufanya maongeo zaidi na nyinyi ili tuelewe kwanza shida iko wapi, na pia sisi tupate fursa ya kuelezea vile siwa charges zitakuwa kali. Say your name.
My names are Colin Soyengo, Master Operator in Nyamasaria under DMM. First of all, Bwana MD, I just want to say thank you for improving. And then, in terms of the tariff that we are talking about today, honestly, I'm in support. That is my honest opinion. So I'm in support of the tariff. My second issue is a question that directly goes to WASREP, checked today, that we've seen and gone through today. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. WASREP will respond to that. Thank you.
Of the non-functional meters. By calculating the bill of a non-functional meter, you talked of calculating the average for the past actual 3 bills.
Thank you so much, Mheshimiwa. I hear you, but statistically, it can be an advantage and a disadvantage at the same time, so it's double-edged. Yeah, but I think we will still look at it. This is not really...
The source of water is the lake. We pump water from the lake to get to a very huge tank that takes millions of water that we normally use in case of emergencies or filling our tanks. We hope that we will improve this in the future. Thank you.
Head of Commercial, are you not happy? Yeah, so that we feel that tank, the people in Osoma, the population has increased. Yeah. So Susan, the chief engineer is here. He's going to look at it and
the sewer lines in Nyawita or the villagers, because there is a point where the villagers walk into homes, and ask the villagers to give them money to make the sewer lines, and the sewer lines are not standard. They are very.
Thank you so much, Chief. You want to respond? Yeah.
Serving Nyawita area was done under a program called KISIP. Now KISIP is a project being done by the national government, I think in most of the towns in Kenya.
Thank you. That should be the last contribution. Every day. Carry up your hand. No, the lady, I think we need now to... There's a lady there.
I was proposing that it's a good job and it's in support of that, but it should be, maybe if you can make immediate disconnection of water. Can we have a plan or somehow maybe a warning or something?
We normally send alerts. We don't just come and disconnect. We have a discussion, and then when we come to disconnect, we come back to November to cut the line.
Take a lot of time. I'm not a resident of Kisumu, but I'm a national stakeholder, and I wanted to bring a perspective. First, let me sincerely thank all this. At times, people do not understand the tariff. Na ningewauliza 2 liter, we say 1 cubic meter, nauzwa pesa ngapi kama una maybe mtambo wa fridge?
5 bob.
5 bob ni kwa kioski, hiyo ni ya mtambo na senti 4. Sio bado iko chini. You know, when you break it down, and I was breaking it in Parliament because we were looking at a drum which is 200 liters. Now, then he mentioned it in passing important to know that already we have a UNDP project I've shared with Waziri, and Kisumu is the one-town city we are considering parking truck operators to ensure that goes to treatment, which you're already doing. So the beauty is that looking at the carbon credit, that becomes, they have changed even the electricity tariff twice. True or false? The Energy Regulatory Commission, do they consult you? They don't. Those two costs, and you're passing the tariff here today, in the next 5 years, will the cost be the same? No, it will not. So what we are worried always as stakeholders in terms of increase in electricity, increase in chemicals, and the studies are there. So to me, my worry is erosion of that tariff. After nobody will consult you. So when the MD will check the bill, it will go up. So my humble plea on behalf of Kiwasco and other service providers is to look into
there. This has been a process. We actually started by coming to you through a scientific, socio-economic survey, and the discussions of this improve on that, etc. Our plans for the next 5 years are in this document. The same document project that we're going to undertake, the not so distant future, is solarization of our Dunga intake and Dunga treatment. Bay is here. And actually, on Friday, we have a meeting with them together with Stone Foundation on how we can move that project. In addition to the extensions that we are talking about, in addition to overhauling the old networks. You didn't believe, but we still have asbestos network.
Thank you very much, MD, for that. I hope Maswali is Visha. Yeah? That said, I think we want to come to the close of this forum. We have a few issues that have come out of this. The majority period. That is a testimony of the confidence that the consumers have on the utility. Block. This is because the lifeline block of 1 to 6 is normally subsidized. So we try to have it be managed. We want to believe that the property managers, if they get that 132 shillings, they just do a small markup that will then take care of the costs. Individual consumers, just by virtue of that service provision framework. Collins DMMs, I know it was presented as a good that they have an iconic office. I think that was the verb you used. Is it the verb or an iconic office? That iconic office, which is needed to enhance service provision. So one of the things once the tariff is gazetted is to help us ask for accountability in terms of the investments that are being done by the utilities. That supported them to do a number of activities which are coming to a close end of this year, and which has actually made a huge difference. One of the initiatives that are going on, we've had the challenge around energy and the emerging issues because of the cost of energy. We are trying to see how we can be able to push our utilities against that. Has huge ripple effects, but we want to see how that works out. Unfortunately, by the time we were doing this tariff, these issues are not emerged, and therefore we couldn't really. By the time we were doing this tariff, these issues are not emerged, and therefore we couldn't really factor them. They can only be cushioned, which I'm finding a bit hard because there's a mix of the kiwasco employees and the consumers. I know the caveat we issued earlier was that even kiwasco employees are consumers. The caveat we issued earlier was that even kiwasco employees are consumers. We started this tariff review with the objective of enhancing service delivery within the city of Kisumu. Enhancing service delivery within the city of Kisumu. How many of us service delivery within the city of Kisumu? How many of us the submission to the board at worst The submission to the board at WASREL is that this show. The submission to the board at WASREL is that this show hands. Is that this show hands. It is victorious of the show hands. It is victorious of the show hands. It is victorious of the show hands. I hope the translation is here for our polluting. I hope the translation is here for our polluting. Parliament, I would like to say the translation is here for our polluting. Parliament, I would like to say the ayes have it. Parliament, I would like to say the ayes have it. We will proceed to ayes have it. We will proceed to we will proceed to take on board and concurrence and say that we consent to board and concurrence and say that we consent to concurrence and say that we consent to between us and the WSP. Then they will also once that is approved by our board, give a 1 month notice for implement. Give a 1 month notice for implementation of the tariff. We supported in terms of getting a tariff that we supported in terms of getting a tariff that we supported in terms of getting a tariff that addresses the current cost of service. So with that, we will. Give that response to the WSP. That decision to give that response to the WSP. That decision to take them. That decision to take them for the next 5 years. Take them for the next 5 years. The good thing with the one for kiwasco is that it's aligning with operation. It's aligning with operation. We followed you the operation. We followed you beyond we followed you beyond this. That the WSP has you beyond this. That the WSP has a role to engage you, not just for this. That the WSP has a role to engage you, not just for public consultations. Has a role to engage you, not just for public consultations on an annual basis to do public consultations on an annual basis to do. When somebody says on an annual basis to do, when somebody says it's almost 24/7, it's almost 24/7. That is what you said. Almost 24/7. That is what you said. That is what you said. I think we're going beyond. I think we're going beyond that. Asanteni sana, and wish you all the best from asanteni sana, and wish you all the best from our end, and wish you all the best from our end. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you, CEO, the CEO was Feb and everybody who has participated here. Indeed, Indeed, it has been a fruitful afternoon, and we are leaving with a good resolution.
And of kiwasco, I want to take this opportunity to appreciate WASREL in a special way, to appreciate the board in a special way, to appreciate the board for attendance within your tight schedule. It has been intensive. For attendance within your tight schedule. It has been
intensive. It was not only done at this level. We started engaging not only done at this level. We started engaging at community level. At community level, we engaged at doorstep level, and MD, we engaged at doorstep level, and MD, you've seen the results.
Let's believe and pray. We are praying. Father, I want to thank you mightily for this.